There's a video right now on YouTube that's gaining a lot of views and a lot of attention because this pastor, he had on the regalia and he's preaching a sermon, and he is saying that Jesus was not a Christian. And his point is that Jesus was Jewish, and therefore the anti-Semitic attitudes in the world are not a part of our faith, and I get that part. But as he was saying that Jesus was not a Christian, he really didn't clarify to the point where we could truly understand what he was trying to say and maybe forgot to say. Let's break it down just a little bit more. Muhammad was not Muslim, and Buddha was not a Buddhist, and Abraham was not Jewish. These things are the beginning, if you will, of those faiths that we are talking about, and we need to be aware of that. So to say Jesus was not a Christian, I have no issue with that. The real truth here, though, is that Jesus is Christianity. He is the manifestation of God in this world. And when we talk about, Jesus not being a Christian, it only stirs emotions and it doesn't promote true faith. But let me tell you what Jesus did say about who he is. He said, I am the way. Jesus said, I am the bread of life. Jesus said, I am the light of the world. And Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life. These are the manifestations of Jesus and who he is and what he is to us. Meanwhile, while we are debating these theological nuggets, if you will, we have women who are showing up in worship services on Sunday, half-dressed, having everything showing, I guess, to draw attention to themselves. I even see them online. They have on these tight spandex and they're preaching the word, and they don't realize that what they are calling the attention to has nothing to do with the faith. Meanwhile, we have preachers who are spewing profanity in the pulpit as they preach the word, and they're saying there's nothing wrong with it. We have pastors and preachers who are living these lavish lifestyles and driving the most expensive cars, and some of them, if you will, are living in very, very expensive homes and fine clothing. And all of this is fine if we really could literally see them live the manifestation of the faith that we embrace. So meanwhile, while all of these things are going on, there are people who profess the faith that will never visit somebody in a nursing home. We have people who say that they are believers, but they will never go with us when we go out to feed the homeless. They will never sit down and use their own personal time to tutor a child, to nurture a child. And these are the real manifestations of who we are. We can run into debates about labels and what we are called and what we are not called. We can get into all of our materialism and what we wear. We can say anything and in some cases do anything, but none of that is the manifestation of God and Christ who manifests his presence in us. We promote our faith through service to others, and we exhibit godly behavior through godly demeanors. We are more likely to attract people to God that way, more likely to attract people to God's word that way. So let's dig a little deeper and let's stop these shallow discussions that literally bring more questions than answers, because in the times that we are living in, people are looking for answers. We don't need to raise more questions. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father except through him.